Greetings and salutations, all. I.S. Anderson here once again, and today, January 21st, is my official one-year anniversary on YouTube. Yes, it has been 1 year. Not really 1 year since I've had my channel, but it's been 1 year since I did my very first video that actually had me in it. The video I did for that was the book sacrifice tag. Yes, that was a very fun video to make. I did such certain things to myself as hit myself with a book, drown myself, raindrops keep falling on my head. Good times. And over the past year, I developed a couple trends that I do in my videos. First of all, there was my top 10 lists. The top 10 biggest buffoons in the Song of Ice and Fire series. The top 10 most despicable gods of ancient mythology. There was also my very own version of the Marry Kiss Cliff tag. However, on this channel, we don't do Marry Kiss Cliff. We do Wife, Mistress, Accident. And my own personal favorite. But of course, the most requested video and the most popular videos I got all had to do with George R. R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire. Now I realize over the course of a couple of those videos I've made some controversial statements. Not going to apologize for them, but I guess I've made some controversial things that not everybody agreed with, which is fine. I mean, what's the point of reading a story like that if you can't have, some disagreements and discussions? So now it's 1 year and 117 subscribers later. And yes, it's been kind of slow going for me, but that's fine. I pretty much in my third video into this, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle for me, so I haven't progressed as quickly as other YouTubers have, but that's fine. I'm not really in it for the glory so much. But it has been a pretty interesting journey. I've made a couple friends through the community here, gotten to know a different couple people. And you might have noticed that the quality of my videos have gone up, at least presentation-wise. Let me give you an example. Greetings and salutations all, I am I.S. Anderson, and welcome to my channel. Greetings and salutations all, I am I.S. Anderson here once again. Greetings and salutations all, I.S. Anderson here once again. You may be interested to know that those were all taken with the same camera. What's the difference? Lighting. Now, see, the first one, I pretty much just turned on one light, and that's all I got. Second one, I did my videos during the day, and I did it with the window open, and I used the sunlight. And nowadays, that you see this great lighting around me, I actually use professional studio lighting. Yes, hold on a minute. Let me ooh, see, I don't do this very often, do I? Yes. Okay, so, and see? Ooh. And then we go around here and see the other one? Ooh. In case you're wondering, those lights cost me about $60, and they weren't bottom of the line. I mean, they weren't top of the line either. But, I mean, the point is, you can get a pretty decent lighting gig for a reasonable amount of money. So, I think the camera, the webcam I use, cost me about $70. So, for about $130, you can get a pretty decent set of equipment for, making videos like this anyway. I mean, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than your basic SLDR camera. So at this point, I'd like to go ahead and give out any advice out there to anybody watching my YouTube videos, thinking about doing this for yourself. Let me just give you a few bits of wisdom that I've learned over the years. First of all, watch other people's videos and sort of analyze them. Look what they do right, look what they do wrong, at least in your opinion. Sort of get an idea of how you want to do things. One thing you'll notice that a lot of people say when they talk about, why you get into this, well, don't do it for the money, don't do it for the money. Now, I agree to that to the extent of, you're not going to get rich on this right away. I mean, it could be a long time before you get to a point where you're going to have a large enough audience where if you monetize your videos, you're going to make a decent amount of money on it. I'm still a pretty small channel myself. I haven't monetized my videos yet. As you probably noticed, I don't have any commercials going on before my videos play. And I probably don't plan to monetize them until it gets to the point where I could probably live off the money if I were to go that route. But that's again, that's up to you. And if you do plan to monetize your videos, there is going to be you are going to have to make them a certain quality level. You can't just be in the dark, with a cheap little camera. But anyway, but as far as the concept of don't do it for the money goes, I think that's a little horseshit personally. Some of the greatest inventions in the world, or some of the greatest things ever discovered, were all made by guys just looking to make a buck. Second bit of advice I give is don't be too obsessed with how many views you're getting, how many subscribers you have. Don't be looking at your stats every hour. Do check them every other day if you want, just to see how things are going, how things are trending. Okay, but again, don't become too obsessed with it. Just, care, just don't let it get to you. Now, some people also tell you, do the videos that you want to do and don't do what anybody else wants to do. You just do the videos you want to do. While other people will tell you, well, look at what's trending, look what's really popular now, look what's getting the most views, and do things like that. My own interpretation of that is you should really do both. You should do the videos that you want to do so that you can get your own opinions out there, get your own voice out there. But at the same time, you do want to try and cater to the public to some extent. That way, more people will notice you in the first place, and then you'll have a bigger audience to get your own message out there. At least in theory. So far, it hasn't worked for me so far. But anyway, like I said, it's your channel, so do what you want to do. Now, this last bit of advice I want to give is not so much about making videos, although I guess it could be applied to videos. But this one is kind of personal for me, and I think it's the most important. So if you only take one thing from this video, this is what you need to take from it. As you probably know, anybody who's watched my White Arrow virus and, any of my other videos, on the subject, I used to do tech support for a certain company. Won't get into who, again, need to protect myself, but I left them recently, and I have to say that that was probably one of the best decisions I ever did. And it wasn't because of what I was doing that I didn't like. It was because of the company that I worked for. I worked for a very toxic environment. They didn't have my back. It's just like no matter what I did, nothing was ever good enough for them. And I'm not saying that I was completely innocent in the situation, but you see, the thing is, when you give so much dedication to a company and you give them a portion of your life and all that stuff, and then the only thing you have to show for it is they cut your pay, you tend not to be the greatest employee. I think when I realized exactly how much I hated my job, I knew I hated my job for quite a while, basically when the company kind of changed hands, if you will, but the day that I realized exactly how much I hated my job was the day my car broke down. My car broke down on one day that I was going to work, and instead of feeling, anxiety and dread and saying, oh crap, my car's not going to work, I got to call into work, oh my god, I'm going to miss a day and all that stuff, I didn't feel any of that. I didn't feel any of the emotions associated with, the stress of your car breaking down. I actually felt a great sense of relief come over me. That is not natural. Recently I got a new job, and I'm doing the same thing now that I was doing before. I'm taking phone calls and helping people, but I gotta say I am in a much better state now than I was back then. I am a lot happier doing that. So, so anyway, the whole point of this is if you're doing something that you really hate, I don't care how much money you're making off of it. I don't care what your situation is. If what you're doing is slowly killing you inside, you don't need to do it. And if you really do not like making videos, if you don't like being in, whatever spotlight you end up being in, definitely don't do it. But if, all that just seems par for the course of you and you still really want to do this, then go ahead and do it. Personally, I don't like everything about making videos. I'm not really a guy who likes being in front of the camera, but I do like editing. I'm not the greatest editor in the world, but I do like editing my videos. Editing videos is pretty fun, I think. I do like getting my opinions out there, even though they're controversial and even though they're not always agreed with. I do appreciate the feedback I get from people who watch, in the comments and all that stuff. I prefer the positive stuff, but I do appreciate the negative stuff too. Sometimes people can point stuff out to me that I didn't know or that I'm doing something wrong. But anyway, I am, it has been quite an experience over the last year. And I'd just like to thank everybody who has participated in taking this journey with me. All right, so that's all I have for now. And, don't worry. I mean, I will be, doing more Game of Thrones videos, Song of Ice and Fire videos in the future. There will be more mythology times, of course, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to do a couple other, wife mistress accident ones pretty soon, and I will do a couple more GPS adventures. I don't know, depending on how the last one hasn't been received too well so far, but the next one should be interesting. Anyway, leave comments below, and my pertinent contact information down below in the abyss as always. Please comment, rate, subscribe. You know the drill. Until next time, this is Isaiah Sanderson telling everybody, make your lives grand, and have a good day. Thank you very much.